me do this. Y'all should be able to hear me now. I don't know what happened. I glitched out and it knocked me out, knocked me off. How you doing, Tank? Uh, oh man, appreciate that, Pete. Appreciate y'all coming back in, Tank, Pete, and I'm sure everybody else will pop back in unless they're frustrated with me. Putting the poll back up. If y'all could, please vote again. Now let me get this set so I can actually. There we go. Free food? Well, I don't think there's any free food. Baldy, how you doing? Oh, so like I said, I don't know what I was saying. I've had a busy month, and I haven't been keeping up with my duties like I'm supposed to. I have been busy. I've been focusing a lot on school, a whole lot on school, and I've got to figure out how to get back to doing the video stuff. Got some ideas, get back in it, and I've got some good stuff ordered for the shop, and I've been doing a lot of work in the shop. The ceiling is up. I've got a machine. I had it. I had the insulation machine, the one blows the insulation in, not foam, but you get your insulation in a bag and you blow it in. I had it reserved for Friday, but I didn't have the ceiling completely ready. I've got to go up in there and close up some areas so the insulation just doesn't fall back down to the floor. I appreciate it, Pete. I try to do this. I really enjoy doing it myself. I just gotta weird. I get notifications on my watch, and it gives me notifications that I don't get on my phone, and it's crazy, and it throws me off. But anyway, let's see. But I've been working a lot on the building, and I'm trying to do. How you doing, Michelle? Thank you. Okay, is that Pete's, Michelle? Good to have you in here. So I've been working on the building a pretty good bit here lately, and well, I'm glad to see you in here. And I've about got it where I need it. I'm having a little trouble with my heater, Pete. I don't know if you've ever had this problem, and tell me what you did. I think I know what's wrong with it, but it's cutting off on me. It will fire up, and it will burn for just like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then it'll go out, and it'll keep doing that. It just started it, so I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. Drag and drive. So I'm really excited about doing a drag and drive this summer. I kind of know what I'm going to try to get ready for it, but I'm not entirely sure. I think the Fairlane will be easier to get ready, but that's okay, Rob. We've had some technical difficulties anyway. Okay, I'll look at that. I'll empty it out and see what I got. But anyway, I think the Fairlane will be easier to get ready than the Mustang. But I don't know. It's about six one way, half a dozen the other. So we'll see. Going to be drinking a sample of Little Book 8 here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Looks like we've got some people showing back up. Tank, you still in here? Smells pretty good. I've heard it's hot. It's only 114 proof, but they're saying it's got a good bite to it. Anyway, let's see. So I told you I went to the Farm and Tractor Show, and I picked up some things. I got this Gold Edition Vessel screwdriver. Well, that's cool, Pete. I had them swap out my Bad Dog Tools little deal, so they swapped this out for free. Awesome. And I bought this one. So it's got an arbor on it, made in so you can grind flat here. Normally for this one, the arbor sticks out of it, so you can't grind flat. A Whiskey Doctor, what is that? So while I'm waiting on that answer, Tank, man, I'm really looking forward to visiting with y'all beginning of May. Me and a bunch of people, we all visit. We all have little get-togethers in different places over the country. And the first one of the year is Run to the Hills, and we do it down in Georgia. And so we'll all ride down there. Me and Tank may link up on the way down, may not. Last year was a bad one. I lost we left the rest area right at the edge of Kentucky and Tennessee, and I didn't have my phone quite set up the way I wanted to. And I put it on my little holder, and I was still trying to mess with it. And it fell out of my holder, and a big truck hit it and just obliterated my phone. And it had all kind of videos on it and everything. Yeah. I was bad. Yeah. But anyway, I'm lucky that I didn't mess up. Let's see. Bourbon and Dr. Pepper. That sounds interesting. Cheers, everybody. It is hot. It's got a good taste, though. Let's see. I can't give you all this tasting notes like everybody says they taste tobacco and they taste pears and apricots and all this shit. Sorry for the cussing, but I can't taste none of it. I just know if it's good or not to me. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be in Hiawassee, Georgia. Hiawassee. Wrote from up here in Ohio to go. That's cool. Chicago trip in a few weeks. That sounds fun. I think this year I'm going to FabTech. I've got it on my calendar now. I think I've got it on my calendar. So I'm going to try to go to FabTech this year, along with, and I might try to go to SEMA. I've got a lot of trips, but I'm also going to school, and I'll be in my senior year come end of August. So that's going to be tough. Plus, I'm taking 3 classes this summer, which I have to be able to graduate next May. Yeah, next May, not this one. I've got to take 3 classes in the summer, 5 classes fall, 5 classes spring. So, yeah. Let's see. Daytona or Myrtle. I don't know what you're getting at. See, cheers. Let's enjoy. So, I don't know if y'all can see. I've showed you my new Snap-on box, but I don't think you can tell in this picture. But I shined her up a little bit. I haven't made my stand that I want to, so it's sitting on the Husky boxes that I bought. I really like those Husky boxes. They're doing a good job for me. The build out, they're nice. They're waterproof. They seem to be tough. I loaded them up with tools for the first time when I headed out to the floods in North Carolina, last year, and I've been using them ever since. So, yeah, Tank. I think Bike Week. I'm not going to be able. I probably won't be doing Bike Week. Neither one of them, Daytona or Myrtle. It's just as it is right now. I want to do at least one drag and drive week. I've got a ton of other events planned. Plus, I'm going to Sturgis. I'm going to Texas in May. That's going to be me and the wife's vacation, but we're going out there to ride too. We're going to ride this big area called it's in Leakey. I'm sorry. It's in Leakey, Texas. It's West Texas to me, but it's Southwest Texas, something like that. But anyway, beautiful country. And there's these 3 roads out there, and they call them they're farm to market roads, I think. They call them the Twisted Sisters. And it's just beautiful. I did it before. I want to take the wife out there, and she's going to drive, and I'm going to ride. But it's just beautiful, and it's on the Frio River. In other words, the cold river. Just a great place, and I love Texas. We were going to go in July, but then I got to thinking that is just not smart because it's hot. I mean, it's hot in July. I lived there for 4 years. It can get rough. But so I'm doing that. I'm doing another event. So I'll be here. We do a Sticks and Stills here. In September, I'll be going to Charleston for another motorcycle ride deal. And there's something else that goes on in September that I go to. Yeah, September I'll do Ford weekend, and I might try to do a couple other things there in Bowling Green, but it's busy. So, and honestly, as much as I like riding with friends, I'm not a big beach guy. So Myrtle Beach and Daytona, But anyway, so let's see. Looks like the Mustang is beating the station wagon right now. So if you haven't voted, vote on that so I can get an idea. This week, Friday, I'm going to be renting that machine I was talking about to blow in the insulation. That's going to be awesome. Going to be able to get that done. The shop is a mess right there right now. But I've got a piece of equipment coming by the end of the week that I need to hurry up and get into the shop. Plus my poor no, we can't add the Hyundai to the poll. Plus my poor Fairlane is sitting out in the weather. I've got it covered up with a tarp. And so I need to get my shop back right and get to building the I'm about to start building the loft. As soon as I get my insulation in, I'm gonna start building the loft. So um, it'll be able to free up a lot of room. Got rid of the Hyundai down the road. The Fairlane, what does it need? So the first thing it needs is I need to refurbish my gas tank. It's full of rust. It needs to be cleaned out, and I think I might have a hole in it. I need to fix that. And then there's a few other things I need to fix, for the gas tank. Then I need to replumb the fueling. Once I've done that, I've got a leak in the transmission I got to fix, but I'm probably going to put another transmission in it and a torque converter because it needs a stall converter, and I've got the stock converter in it. It's just not right. Plus, I've got a complete sniper system for the Fairlane. And then I got to put the exhaust on it. So that's everything that the Fairlane needs. Plus, I want to put, let's see, I've got new exhaust for it, complete exhaust all the way back to the rear, but I've got to get under there and weld it up. But I may need some help. I may have something coming that's going to help me with that. So there's that. Let's see. Michelle wants to get a Mustang to build into a street rod. Fox bodies are fairly simple. And if you do, look, whatever you do, shop. Because you can find them out there for great prices. And then there's people out there that think they're gold. So, yeah. That's all I can say on that. It's tank, the tires are good, but they're not my style. I think I don't have a photo of it handy, but they're just like these low profile tires, and it's just not my style. What I want to put on it is custom dog dish, like stock wheels, but they're custom. So they'll fit a fatter tire on the back, and then I'll pop dog. See, I've got 14s. I've got the stock 14s for it, but that ain't what I want. I want some probably 16 or 17 inch wheels, but they'll be stock style. I'll pop the dog dishes back on it, give it a little bit different look, hot rod look. So that's the goal for that. I think those wheels that's on it would look good on that car if it had a different tire. But yeah, not happy with that. It's like, seriously, it's about that thin. Let's see. Hot rod, good Lord, autofill is failing me tonight. Okay, hot rod. Hot rod, the Hyundai. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so the Hyundai needs some work, but no, I don't plan on. I would probably get laughed at if I took it. It's okay. I don't mind getting laughed at. People laugh at me, pretty decent amount anyway. But no, I'm not going to take the Hyundai. I do need to fix it. I think I figured out what happened. So I've got a problem, and I think I know what the issue is, but I'll tell you what the problem is. My fan controller only works on high, period. Only works on speed 4. That's all it'll do. Now, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is, and I know what caused it, But put down there in the comments what y'all think it is. I figured it out. I mean, I did some research and I found a few different options. And after going over the one option, I actually think I know what killed it. But yeah. But anyway, let's see. The Mustang is still on 60%, 60%. I haven't had but that little bit to drink, I swear. Ignition relay. No, I don't think so. I mean, I won't know until I go in there and pull it apart and check the particular part that I think it is. But like I said, it just makes sense. What else? What else do I have new that I haven't told y'all about? I don't think there's not. Well, there is. I've got a. Oh. I finally had to go get one. Like I need another toolbox. Oh man. And I got me a free bucket this weekend. So I bought this to get a free bucket. And then I went back again today and bought a magnetic parts tray and got another free bucket. So yeah, I got that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't need it. I also got me some funnels. But anyway, let's see. Use your mini toolbox in your attic and your 3D printing room. That's cool. A Tank's a 3D printer too. He prints cool little fingers. Pretty much, he prints deals like that, except so you can store the ring that we wear on it. Let's see what else we got. 5 people in here. Let's see. So Mustang. Y'all didn't ask. It's a freaking toy store. Need I do models with resin? I've been mostly in the man cave in the basement making lures and getting seedling started. Oh, that's cool. So the Mustang, here's what the Mustang needs. I got to get the engine together. Right now, the crank is in and torqued. The cam is in it, but it hasn't been. I don't have the timing gear on, and I haven't set it up. Degreed it. I haven't degreed it. So I gotta complete the engine. So I gotta degree the cam. I've got one piston, one rod in, so I can put a head down on there and test my piston to valve clearance. So I got to do everything that I got to do with that, and then I got to pull the heads back off, get the pistons in it. I got to file fit all the rings. I got to do everything to the engine, get it back in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a radiator. I'm going to have to buy another battery because it's toast by now. What else? I have no idea if anything else is wrong with the Mustang. That don't mean it's an impossible deal. It just, now so here's the deal. I know everybody's voted, but here's my 2 things of thinking. I could probably actually compete in the Mustang. The Mustang let's say if it was running right now and I could do some testing, I could probably get it down. I don't know what it would run in the quarters. I don't know what it would equate to. I think a stock Mustang from those Fox body eras run 13s in the quarter, 9s in the 8th. This one should run 7s, low 7s. Maybe I'll get lucky if it hits the high 6s. Maybe that would be a 11 or 10-second quarter mile pass. I don't know. So I could kind of compete in some type of class in the Mustang. The Fairlane, even though it's got an engine in it that is probably just similarly strong, the Fairlane's huge, fat, and heavy, and it's going to be slow. I will be lucky to squeeze a 14-second quarter mile out of it. And that's like a 14.99. But you know, I could always get some laughing gas and put on it and make it a little faster. You never know. I don't know. I really don't know if that's what I want to do. So there's sort of two ways. Another way to look at it is there's a million Mustangs out there. Everybody and their brother has a Mustang. And yeah, I will be fairly, I won't be like everybody else because 90% of those Fox Body Mustangs now have a LS in it, and I've got a Ford motor in it. But how many people are going to be out there with a Fairlane wagon? Like I said, it's not going to be competitive. I will probably, if I enter that in anything, I'll enter it into a class where you kind of compete against yourself. So what it is those classes, they go out there and they say, okay, we're going to run this, and you run as close to that time as you can the whole week. And once you turn it in, you average up all your time slips. Whoever ran the closest to their time wins that class. So that's probably what I would have to enter with it. So there's kind of the two ways I'm looking at it. They're both tagged and titled. They both have insurance on them. They're both got antique tags on them. So anyway, so if you haven't already voted, go ahead and vote because that's kind of what I'm looking at. Let's see. Sounds like you'll be done tonight. Nothing much left. Yeah, right. Tank said, so the Fairlane it is. The Fairlane may be easier to get ready. I don't know. The interior on the Mustang is like really, really nice for a, 40-year-old car. The Fairlane, not so much. It's got the Indian blanket reupholster job, and they're not in there very well. Anyway, let's see. Grew up in Mustangs. That's awesome. I've been a Ford guy for since I was about 15 or 16. I don't know what made me a Ford guy, but for some reason I decided that's what I liked, and I know what it was. And it was probably a little later than 15 or 16, but my first pickup, my first car that ran and drove was a F100, a 1981 F100, short wheelbase. It was two-tone brown, gold brown, like it had like a gold stripe in the middle and darker brown on the top and bottom. But someone had painted it with some boat paint, with the spark, a whole lot of sparkle in it. Straight six, 300, 4-speed granny gear. Loved the truck. I beat the hell out of that truck, and it did me well. It got me through my high school years and a few wrecks. I wrecked it a few times, being stupid out there in them dirt roads, acting like I was either Bo or Luke Duke, one of the two. My first wreck, I got it loose on a dirt road, and I slid it around the curve. It got away with me. I counter steered, and it went up on an embankment like that, and it didn't do anything to it, but that was my first little accident. But so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm a Ford guy, because I loved it. And I had vehicles before that, but none of them ever run. I had a 79 Cheyenne with a 350 in it that had slapped a hole in the timing chain cover. And me and Dad put a new timing chain, but that truck was just slap wore out, and we never got it to running. I had a few Chevrolet pickups. None of them, I never got any of them running. It wasn't because I had a lack of mechanical ability. Daddy would have helped me, okay? But Dad wasn't going to pay for the parts, and I couldn't afford the parts. And it was just cheaper to have a truck that ran and drove to get me back and forth to work. So I had a bunch of junk vehicles when I was younger, and half of them went to the scrap yard, and half of them I trade them for parts for this, that, and the other. But anyway, see, Fairlane will be a sleeper car. The Mustang is predictable. Yeah. Like you. So you make it look fast, racing stripes and flames. Yeah, maybe. Nah, a Roadrunner decal on it. That it's not a Dodge or a Chrysler. Is it Chrysler or Dodge as Roadrunner? I don't know. I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to. Let's see. I need to enter into another audio competition. Last time I competed, I wasn't done and took two. It wasn't done. Okay. Took second place in the regional event. That's awesome. I would like to put me a clean sounding radio in the Fairlane. The Mustang, I don't really care to. See, definitely a set of danglers for the rear bumper. Which one is easier to fix and maintain? It's probably going to be the Fairlane. And the only difference that's going to make the Fairlane a little bit easier to maintain, well, two differences. So once I get that sniper kit in there, it should run a little better, easier to start and all that. The second thing is the cam in the Mustang is, while it doesn't have a whole lot more lift, it has a whole lot more duration. And it is going to be it's going to sound like something else. It's going to be a heck of a cam, and it is not going to be very street friendly. It being a straight shift, it doesn't make it quite so bad, but still, it's like 300 or something degrees of duration. It's pretty rough, and I think it's real low on intake center line, I think I forget what it is. I'd have to go back and look at my cam card. So the Fairlane for that reason. I've got another cam I could put in it that's not quite as of erratic of cam. It's what is it? It's 590 lift, 590 or 595 for the Mustang. And I've got two cams that are that, but one of them doesn't have the extreme duration. But the cam and the Fairlane is a little more easier to maintain. It's only a 560 lift, so it's not that huge of a deal. So yeah, in other words, it could almost be the Mustang if I was to swap out some parts that I don't have in it. I mean, well, the cam's in it, but it's just in there. I could pull it out just as easy as put it the rest of the way back together. Let's see. I'd have to guess the Mustang has more parts available. Yes, that is one thing. If something happens and I cannot fix the gas tank, unless I find one in a junkyard, I can't buy it. There are no gas tanks available for it. And here's the reason why. If you go and do a Google for a gas tank for a 1966 Fairlane, you're going to come up with a gas tank for a sedan. And you'll be able to buy those gas tanks all the time, every day, 24 hours a day. But you cannot get a tank for a wagon because it's in the fender well. It's in the driver's side fender well, and it's a funky looking tank. And beer keg tank, boat gas tank, yes, and there's a perfect place for it. For if I was to buy something like that, perfect place for it. The spare tire in the back, it would be a perfect place for a gas tank. But I don't want it inside the car with me. And plus, I kind of like, it's got the cool flip up back seat that faces back. And I kind of like that. And it's cool. And I would probably have to remove it and, set it to the side if I was to, do something like that. I thought about building me a gas tank. I could get some aluminum, cut it up, weld it up, do all that, maybe make it work right. But in the end, I want to try to fix that one. I want to get it right. The goal for that car is get it running smoothly, get the transmission right, get the interior right, and then work on the exterior, make the exterior nice. But everything else is going to be before that. But this car is also a manual steering, manual brakes. So think about that. It stops real good. The previous owner put disc brakes on the front. Stops real well. But yeah, it is your power that stops it, your leg power that stops it. There ain't no power brakes here. And steering wheel, I mean, there's a reason there's a steering wheel on it this big, because it's going to take you that to steering, especially with those weird tires and the way they've got it lowered. And yeah. Fuel cell. Yeah, so I've searched for fuel cells that would be right. I just can't find the right one. Worst case scenario, that's what I'll do. What do you mean you could swap out, Tank? Let's see, drop the Fairlane body on the Mustang frame. It won't fit. It's the Fairlane's a little bit longer than the Mustang. And even okay, I may be wrong here. I'm pretty sure the Fairlane is a unibody. I know the Mustang is a unibody. But they're not anywhere close to the same size. Um, Got to do the Carolina reverse truck squat and the Stang. Now you really want people to laugh at me, Rob. Oh man. Uh, yeah, I can't do all that. It's gonna it's gonna have a little rake to it, but it'll be some, back to front. It won't be much. I don't. That's not something I care for either. Is I'm. This isn't the '80s or late '70s, and I don't have air shocks on it. Um, my buddy had a. We were riding around like 88, 89 in a late '70s Camaro, like a '79 or '80 Camaro with air shocks in the back, and it's set up like this. It had an anemic 305 in it. Well, I miss that though. I miss that. It would have been awesome. The Fairlane would be an awesome low rider. It's not too far from being a low rider now, Tank. It's pretty close. The guy that I got it from, that was, I think, his goal is to make it into a bit of a low rider. I mean, they've got the rear springs clamped, and I forget how he lowered the front, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it the expensive way. But I don't think he heated up the front coil springs either. Coil springs. I don't. Yeah. Airbags and make it jump. Y'all are funny. That's not me. It's that's something for other people, but it's not me. Now there's some. I wouldn't mind taking a bike and giving it a look that. How do I say this? So there's a specific look that some of the Latinos that have Harleys make their motorcycles look, and I kind of like it. And with this old shovel head I got, I would like to do that with it. Lower it, wide white walls with spoked rims on it, long fishtails. That would be cool on the motorcycle, but that's not really what I want for the Fairlane. But yes, it does have a Mexican blanket interior in it, and that's what it come with. See, guy used to ride motorcycles around with, had an air ride, and he was hilarious with it. He said he adjusted it based on the package on board. Yeah, I understand that. Honestly, motorcycle suspension is finicky. So when you add a passenger, unless you're adding someone that doesn't weigh over 100 pounds, you need to adjust the suspension for it because it's going to handle differently. My Harley doesn't, but I've got a little knob, Tank, that I can adjust, and it's like settings 1 through 5, and it does pretty good. My new Harley, not the old ones. I don't know what I'm going to do for suspension on them. I'll probably do some lowered progressive shocks on it. But well, shoot, it is looking like everybody. I don't know if I've had anyone else come in, and I don't know if how many people have voted for sure, but it looks like it just become a tie, a 50-50 tie for station wagon and Mustang. So honestly, I've been thinking station wagon, but I'm going to weigh the pros and cons, and when I get out there and start getting everything back going, I'm gonna see what I can do. Here's the last thing I'm gonna interject. Right, in all reality, Tank, I've been lazy, and I should have them both running, but that's neither here nor there. the poor Fairlane has been, it's been mothballed. I've had it since I think 2019, and it needs to be back on the road. I've had it back on the road. I've drove it to the gas station and back since I got the engine in it, but that's about it. I created the leak in the transmission. I did instead of using a Sawzall to cut a bracket off of a shaft for the shifter shaft, which I had to do to put my new shifter in, I used my plasma. And if I would have been a little smarter, put a wet rag around it or something, it would have been okay. But I guess I got too much heat on the seal and it pours transmission fluid out of it. And it was probably dry rotted anyway. I mean, it's the original transmission. It's what they call a green dot, and it's a C4 that's not a C4. It's an early version. If you know anything about Fords, so it's a 1966. So it's like the very first it's like a super early version of a C4, and the gearing is even different. It won't start out in first in drive. It automatically starts out in second, no matter what. It's weird. But anyway, I got to get it back on the road. It needs some loving, and it'd be a cool car to drive around as soon as I get them going. But let me end this poll. And so 50%, 6 votes, 3 for, 3 against. Hey, I appreciate everyone showing back up this weekend. I know I haven't been doing this right for the past few weeks. We're going to get back on track. I'm going to get back on track on videos. I promise. I promise. I can't promise it's going to be this week, but I'm going to do my best to get back on track on videos this week and get some stuff out there. Y'all take care. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a great week. Have a blessed week. And hey, something I don't talk about very often, but if any of y'all ever have any trouble, if anyone ever needs anyone to talk to, shoot me a chat, shoot me something. My Facebook link is on my video page. Hit me up, holler at me, and we'll talk. I'll be there for you. Y'all take care. Have a great one. Shoot me a link to that tank if it's a station wagon tank. Thank you. Y'all have a great week. And no on snacks.